nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Four-way test. First,
Is it true?
Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
fourth,
Will it be beneficial to all
and
concerned?
I understand.
And fifth, is it fun? Thank you, Jack. As you sit down, please remember the cart fund bucket. Place loose change or dollars in there. Last week we had $30 collected. Can I get 3 people to do a $10 match this time? Okay, Jeff Gray. All right. And one more. Greg, you can put. All right.
I got Jeff Gray
And Tara. All right. Thank you all. Let's see, William's not here. Do we have anyone on the prayer list other than Sam Watson's family? Bert Williams. Yeah, everybody please keep Bert Williams in your prayer and his family. Anyone else?
Does anyone know how Bert's doing? What's going on with Bert?
I hadn't had an update. Last I heard, I was in the hospital.
Yeah. All right. Any announcements? Okay. All right. If not, Greg, if you'll come forward, our Sergeant of Arms report. Do we have any visitors today?
Do we have any visitors? Oh, yes. Okay, we're gonna get you to draw the ticket.
Well,
We're gonna get you to draw the ticket. Thank you. Winning number is 977. 977. 977. You got a winner? Okay. Queen of Hearts. Oh my gosh, we got a winner.
How much was in the first one? How much was in the
485, something like that.
485?
That's what we got here today.
Right. All right.
Can I get you to introduce our visitor?
Oh, yes. My name is Gilbert Sutton. Jim here at Central State Hospital. I'm the CEO out there. Today I have with me the Director of Management and Risk Management Director of Central State Hospital, Frederick Ellison. I'm glad to have him as our director. He just got the job probably about 3 weeks ago. And I think he'll be outstanding.
All right. All right, before we get started with today's program, I've got some perfect attendance awards. So let's see, Jay Woocher. Jay, come up. Get Jay for 1 year. All right, Bill Jones, 3 years. Jack Kraft, 4 years. Jennifer Pollard, who's not here today, 4 years. Tom Glover for 4 years. Derek Williams, 5 years. Derek, we're calling your name. Derek. I said Derek. I did say Derek.
I went here to get it either.
No, 5 years. Joe Peters, 5 years. Joe's not here. Paul Dean, 5 years. Angie Martin, 6 years. And Jeff Gray, 15 years.
Oh.
Halsey Leverett, 15 years.
All day.
Karen Brooks, 23 years. Starting with like 3, right?
I did.
Right, yes.
And Jimmy Eubanks, 29 years.
Oh, like so.
All right, let's give all these one more big round of applause.
Hey, I'll suck you in.
Okay. You've got a couple of other awards, but we're going to present those when the people are here. So with that, I want to introduce our speaker, Carly. I think most of you who've been around Rotary for a while know Carly. She was a former Rotarian, hopefully coming back to be a Rotarian one of these days. But she's going to talk to us today and give us an update on Milledgeville Main Street and the Downtown Development Authority. So. There you go.
Hello, it's so good to see you guys. It feels like I never left, but then it also feels like it's been 5 years, and I really don't know how long it's been because the past year or two has been so crazy. So it's really good to see familiar faces and some new faces. I have been with Main Street in the city for 11 years now, which seems like it's flown by, but also like it's been 50 years. So anyway, I'm here today to talk to you about what we have going on. As you all know, this past year was very strange, and my presentations are usually on what we've done in the past year. And then I also want to apologize to those that were at Eggs and Issues, because a lot of this is the same because it's that same presentation. I changed it a little bit so it wouldn't be as boring. And for those that saw it already, it's not boring. It's good. I mean, I hope. Anyways, I have an assistant, Dina Thornton. She's been with me for 10 years, but her last day is tomorrow. So please pray for me in the next few months as I do this alone. But I will be hopefully hiring another person. I'm trying to get it changed from admin assistant to event coordinator because I really need that more than I need an admin. But then my board of directors is they're what's the word? They're not my boss, but they're like a guiding force in our organization. So we get together once a month, and then we also get together once a year for like a 4-hour meeting to go over what we want to accomplish in the next year. And I want to recognize Frank Ball, who's here, who's one of my board members. And is Jim still in Rotary? Okay, he's also on my board. I think that's all. Justin, not anymore. Yeah. But anyways, they help guide the organization and help us figure out what we want to do, and then also help do those things. So the vision statement of Milledgeville Main Street and the Downtown Development Authority is pretty much to create a vibrant and attractive destination for everyone to enjoy, and also to enjoy its rich history, because as we know, downtowns are usually the historic core of a community. So why are downtowns important? And y'all might remember this from like 3 years ago when I presented, because I always push this, because a lot of times I get told, why does downtown have its own section? Why is that important? Downtown, as I just mentioned, is the historic core of our community, of any community. It's a reflection of community image and pride. I always make the joke that if you bring someone to Milledgeville, are you going to take them to Chili's? Nothing against Chili's. Or are you going to try and take them somewhere to show them what your town looks like and what your town feels like. What are the local places like Amici, the Brick? The majority answer, not Chili's or one of the other big chains. So that I think is why it's important to have someone in an organization that focuses on making downtown look good, feel good, and have things going on. It's also almost always the government center, although we do have the annex now on 441 for the county. They still have the courthouse downtown, city halls downtown. We have wonderful anchor institutional banks that are downtown. Our post office is downtown. So you have a lot of people coming in and out of that area in your town. So you want it to be vibrant and have something for not just the people visiting, but the people that live here, the people that go to work every day, have a place to go at lunch and things like that. So I heard this quote, downtown is the heart of a city as the living room is the heart of a home, but I changed it to kitchen because to me, the kitchen is the heart of the home, but maybe that's just because I like to eat, I don't know. So the place is becoming more important than the product across the country. There are people choosing where they want to live prior to finding a job and going there. They're looking for the activity, the things to do, the fun, exciting place to be. So it's really what I'm doing is economic development within the context of historic preservation in a downtown area to create places that people want to be, to create a place that people want to be. So placemaking is kind of the one word thing that's going around in our nation right now for not just downtown developers, but even industry and economic developers as a whole. Placemaking is a huge portion of that. You can ask a high level economic developer that only focuses on huge industry businesses. They're going to say that historic core and the downtown is a huge portion of a draw of why businesses will choose your town over somewhere else. So these are just some examples of things we do. We have Millie Money. We've done a beach bash we do every year in June, first Friday. This year and last year were different. We have a welcome to the neighborhood kind of thing that we do with our board. We go to all the new businesses and welcome them. So we try to make sure that we have a good contact with all of the businesses and make them feel welcome and then help them if they need assistance. Here's some more things that we've done. We do a Polar Express event every year. We have Millie the Owl, which has kind of become our mascot between us and the chamber. And so Millie wore a mask last year and promoted mask wearing and just trying to do things with Millie that promote excitement and make our city just different. We do have some wayfinding banners downtown that shows you where to go for people that don't know. And then we are Georgia's exceptional Main Street. So that's a accredited Main Street called a GEMS, which is, there's only about 20 communities in the state of Georgia that get that designation each year. And we have to fill out reports and stuff like that every month for the state just to be a Main Street at all. But because we excel at a lot of the check marks, we get that designation. So we have signs welcoming you into downtown. The signs look really big in my office and then we put them on the sign and I'm like, oh, you can barely see that. But anyways, we were excited when it did happen. And then we do silly things like these banners we put up when things are happening downtown, which I think there it is. They're my favorite. We stole this. We call what we do a lot is R&D, rip off and duplicate instead of research and development. Some city in, I think it was Cincinnati, did this, and you guys are still a tough crowd. You can laugh, I promise. But getting diggy with it, shop, hammer time. So trying to encourage when you go into something annoying, like, oh, how are we going to get to the store? And then you see something like that, it's like, it's just something different. So anyway, let me go back. So what else do we do? I think I've told you a little bit, but I always say we're more than just events because I get told a lot that I'm just an event planner. That's why I went event coordinator so that I can focus on some of the other things. But we do have events. First Friday, Deep Roots Hometown Celebration. We have movie nights. We do a Polar Express each year, and then we have treats for Halloween in downtown every year. We also have huge promotional campaigns. We do co-op advertising with the downtown businesses to help it more affordable, help it be more affordable for them to afford the advertising. We do regular advertising for downtown. One of the things we've done, like in the summer each year, is a picture of downtown with parking spaces that are empty, and it says, "Come downtown, there's parking." No, really, there's parking. So that's like our summer's out. Locals can come because we hear that a lot. There's no parking, so I don't come downtown. So in the summer, if you don't ever want to come downtown during the school year, that's a good time that we encourage locals to come that want to be able to find a parking spot. Oh, that's it. It's right there. I didn't realize it was, sorry. It's right there. So we thought that was a cute, just advertising that we ran on some billboards in town. And then on the other part of that is I help businesses. As I mentioned, we welcome the businesses when they need help advertising an event they have, or when they need assistance, like location assistance. Before they get open, they'll come talk to me. I talked to Carla actually before she found a location, which wasn't downtown, but about locations in Milledgeville. So you know, just try to help people find a good location for their business. And then if they need help with the loan assistance, we have low interest loans as well. And then our DDA operates a 50-50 facade match grant, which is funded by the Deep Roots Festival. Each year we get $6,000 to give out to the businesses downtown for improving their facades. As many of you know, the historic buildings or homes are very hard to maintain, and a lot of times they take more money to keep them looking right and keeping them standing. So we offer a 50-50 facade match grant up to $1,500 for the downtown businesses. And then making sure the design looks good, just trying to make our downtown look good. For example, we went from, there was a tree here on the one on the left side that had to be removed because of it was getting into the sewer systems below. So the tree was removed, and then this became a wonderful place for kids to throw rocks, my kids included, and it was quite annoying. So I would walk by there all the time and pick up rocks and put them back in the rock pile. And it obviously wasn't that inviting of a location. So we got a grant from the Knight Foundation and created this little plaza area that hopefully we will be able to utilize coming soon when we start doing our events. Next Friday is actually First Friday. It'll be our first Friday back. Do a little plug. We will have a band that will be playing on the plaza, or at the plaza here, and then also at the Floyd L. Griffith Jr. Plaza by Allen's Market. So we'll have two bands at downtown for First Friday. You guys should come. Those are my fun banners that we made. So I guess this, I don't want to go too fast. Am I talking really fast? I'm trying to be quick. Okay. So over COVID, it was like, you know, I've been here 11 years. Obviously, we never had a year that was like, just stay in your office and I don't know what you're supposed to do, which is essentially what happened. We didn't have meetings. I mean, it was just, I mean, everybody knows it was a crazy time. So we focused a lot of our time and effort on online social media and just pushing that, you know, downtown still needs help the local businesses. So we did several things. The Millie Revival Movement is kind of what we called it. We had a post online that reached over 7,800 people that, oh, that's not it. Where is it? 14,000 people that I tagged all the downtown businesses and put their information, like whether they were open, whatever they had curbside, you know, just trying to keep people updated on what was happening, because so many people were closed and then some were open random hours. Some were doing curbside, some weren't. We also invested, the DDA invested in 20 parking signs and Lowe's big buckets that we toted out and put them on the sidewalks so that people could have curbside parking for pickup. The businesses were appreciative of that. And then this down here was something the Visitors Bureau did, a restaurant guide, just trying to, again, explain to people what is happening, what businesses were open. They did that in the hotels to make sure that people visiting could try and find places to eat. We also did 50-50 Millie Money sale, which was put $4,100 back into the community. It was buy $50, get 50 free. It was kind of insane. I was off that day and Dina my assistant was not thrilled with me. The phone was ringing off the hook, and it was sold out within like 2 hours. People were mad because they couldn't get it through. I mean, it was insane, but it went well. So we put money into the community, and that was good. And then we also did DDA emergency grants. So some of the businesses were even having trouble paying their light bill or paying, any kind of bill, internet, water. So we gave out 16 grants to the businesses that totaled $7,400. And that was a big help to some of these businesses. We also, is Greg still in Rotary? Okay, Greg was wonderful and came to me and wanted to do something that had to be within what Georgia Power was looking for, which is kind of a community help or a community, something to create, use power, obviously, but to create something vibrant in our community. So this alleyway before it was installed, especially at night, was just pitch black. That leads to a lot of parking. A lot of the business owners and employees park back there. So we created an alleyway project, and we got $5,000 from Georgia Power to fund the entire project. So that was really exciting, and just one of those other placemaking activities that we're proud of. We also did drive-in movie nights that were pretty successful. This was a way to have an event, but keep people separated. So we partnered with Allied Arts and the library. The library actually has a FM transmitter thing. I don't really know what it is. Stephen just handled it, but you drive in and you set your radio dial like an old school drive-in, I guess. I've never been to one of those, but is that how they worked back then too? Yes. Okay. Well, so you turn your dial to the FM station, and you can watch and listen to the movie. And it was a way that we didn't create crowds because there was no outside noise. So people were trying to, gather around, and we had police officers, because I was instructed that if we did this, it had to be social distance. So I even got in trouble about this picture because it was a group of 3 friends that brought their kids, and I wasn't supposed to let them be together, but I did. So anyways, I thought that picture was amazing. Those girls brought like buckets with candy and drink and popcorn, and it was just perfect. Like they took advantage of it like we wanted to. It was something for them and the kids to do. And I felt like it was okay since they were just 3 friends, not, a group of 50, but anyway, I got my hand slapped for that, but it was still very successful. We sold out every night we did it, and we had to push people away, which was not fun, but we plan on doing these again, hopefully where we don't have to have it in a car. You can just set up and do like a picnic. So, but with the library having changes, I'm just waiting to have a meeting with Dana about that. So this year, since we didn't do our Halloween trick-or-treating, which I always say that it doesn't give the businesses any extra sales or anything, but they just love it because the kids are adorable walking around and getting candy from them. So we didn't do that this year because of COVID, so or last year. So we did an online contest, decorating or costume contest, and we saw the most adorable things. We had 9,400 people reach. We had $200 that we gave away for these prizes, and it was just something fun for us to promote. And then we always do a window decorating contest for the businesses, and people voted on who wanted to win, and Blackbird won this year. Another big thing that we did that reached more than 24,000 people was we called it Face Forward Millie, and Dina and I actually learned a lot about some of our business owners. They filled out like a little form about themselves, and we wrote up a cute little blurb and got a picture of them, and it was just a way for people to put a face to the Milledgeville businesses instead of just, like it's just this random business. This is a person in your community that you're supporting, and here's, they are married with kids, and this is their past, or things like that. It was just really neat to learn some of that information about the business owners, and we tried to just make it emotional, I guess, for people to support these businesses. So yeah, that was really good. And I don't think I have that video where you can click. No, sorry. And then for the first time ever, we actually had a menorah lighting downtown, which this is not something I'm taking credit for. A local person, Allison Bloodworth is her name. She is in the Jewish community, and she was upset that her child always asked why their religion wasn't represented downtown. And, you know, when she approached me and Hank, our city manager, we pretty much said that that tree is donated every year from Fowler Flemister. They put it up for us and take it down every year, the Christmas tree, which we call a holiday tree, but obviously it's more Christian based. So we told her that if she wanted to come up with the funds and have someone, herself ended up being the people that put it up, but purchase one, we could do that. And then we would help support a menorah lighting when it was appropriate for that. And then we did the tree lighting when it was appropriate for that. This went over really well. We're probably one of the only communities in the state of Georgia. There might be one or two that has this a different religion represented in their community. So it was just something neat that we could be a part of. And, you know, we had probably over 100 people at the menorah lighting, and it was just a good show of, you know, community pride and unity. And then we do the tree lighting, but that's not, we did it virtual this year because it was raining. So something that we recently did, if you guys had noticed, the downtown planters were looking pretty rough for a while, and things have changed in our some of our departments, and there wasn't as much attention being paid to the downtown as in the past. We used to have, you know, planters planted and then watered. So my board and I came up with the Downtown Doers, and it's a group of volunteers, and we got the city to pay for the plants, and then all of the volunteers got together one Saturday morning and repotted and replanted all of the planters downtown. There was 52 planters. It looks much better. Some of them are like really going crazy. So now I'm trying to figure out how to manage that. But we did come up with the Downtown Doers group, and we're trying to come up with other activities that we can do to help things downtown to improve them. And that's all. That was not bad. Any questions?
Oh, when are you gonna do your 50-50 again? Are you gonna do that again or not?
I don't think so. If we do it, maybe online next time. It was. Yeah, we might, you know.
That was neat, that was neat. Very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, you're still doing the boost program?
I knew that was going to come up. It's kind of just on hold right now because Halsey's asked me about that recently. It was getting hard to get people to apply for it. It's free money, but it really was where we were only getting 1 or 2 applications, and a lot of them were repeat people the last time that we did it. So we just, you know, my board decided to not focus on that. It was getting to be a kind of a lot for me, because getting people to pay into it and then the next year asking them to pay again, it was more like I was a bill collector. So we were trying to figure out a way to just kind of do something different for a little while and then maybe bring it back like once every few years so that there's more excitement about it, I guess. Yeah.
I've seen the emails from you.
Yes, we kind of just like
So it looks like about everything's filled up downtown, the occupancy, basically, is everything filled right now?
everything that can be
Okay.
filled is we have the one falling down building, and then we do have, there was a guitar store that has moved out. They opened a shop in Madison, and that was become more successful, so they moved there. But we do have a new a tech firm from Boston that is going to be opening up offices there, which is pretty funky and pretty cool. They're going to try and use Georgia College graduates to come to work for them, which is something good when you see that in communities, because usually they're a little higher paying jobs. So we can keep some of the graduates that graduate and leave and go back to Atlanta. So, but that'll be opening. And then we've got a lot of people, I'll go ahead and address this, Big Daddy's Entertainment Cafe. If you've seen the big vinyl lettering, that is not what it sounds, or what he has told me, it's not what it sounds like. It's gonna be like a nice restaurant piano bar. And then upstairs, he wants to do like a jazz club, like maybe like a dance floor and stuff like that. And then in the back section, you'd actually enter from that back alleyway would be like a reboot, like they have in Macon, like a retro arcade. So that could be a really good project. It's just that building has asbestos, and it's just going to take a lot to remediate that. The old Hodges Furniture Building, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's a Big Daddy's Ice Cream that's across the street too. And he's going to open an like a self-serve ice cream shop, the same man. And then on 441, I don't know if you've seen by the lake, there's a Big Daddy's car sales. So he's coming from Macon, and he has apparently a bunch of businesses in Macon, and just wants a smaller town and smaller atmosphere. So just kind of moving, I guess, all of his stuff here, and goes by Big Daddy. Yes.
I mean, I'm just probably, I don't know if this has to do with you, you're talking about the building that the roof collapsed on. I don't know who's involved in that, whatever's going on, but, I don't know, I guess, and I know some people in the building, and right next door to the company supply,
Mhm.
where there used to be a building, they made a community.
That would be my dream.
community area where it's, you know, somewhere to sit after or before dinner and kind of hang out, you know, people take
Yeah.
pictures and stuff.
That would be great. Currently, the owner is not wanting to sell the building. And the city, from what I've been told, is working to push him to do something, because it's going to damage the surrounding buildings. I mean, it's been like that for about 2 years now. So if it hasn't already damaged the adjacent buildings, but it's kind of out of my hands. It's in the attorney's wheelhouse right now to figure out what we can and can't do. The city's not real big on what's the word when you take property? Yes, but they're not trying to do that, because if they did it downtown, there's a lot of other properties in town that I think would come up that people would want. And then if the city takes it, what do? You know, the city then has to pay for the demolition or rebuild, and that's, you know, another issue. So, well, you still a park will cost that. I think the one in Dublin costs like $2.4 million. And this building, when you walk in, the floor is actually, the ground is like 8 feet lower than that. So it would be a lot of filling in, and then it would be cost. So. Yes, they did a lot of different things. SPLOST, I think, helped pay. I don't ever get offered to get any SPLOST money for my project. So we have a lot. I don't know about Dublin, what they have as far as their infrastructure, but majority of money that comes to our community goes to water and sewer here. And then when I do bring up projects like that or other things, it's kind of like, that's good, Carly. And that's kind of where it stops. So we're, you know, we have a lot of infrastructure issues, and that makes total sense. We've got to address those, because obviously when we have water issues, everyone is not thrilled. So, you know, maybe one day we'll be able to get to that. I'm hoping before that happens, maybe this, I do have a few people that are trying to get that property owner at that building to sell so they can do something with it, but he wants this much and it's worth this much, you know. So finding that happy medium between them. But
I just want to thank you for your leadership. Our downtown is, people, every community would die to have the kind of downtown we have. So thank you.
thank you. You're always so
Absolutely
kind.
wonderful. It's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Thank y'all.
And Carly, as I mentioned, as a
Oh, yeah.
speaker's gift, you get to pick one of the wonderful pens, and Greg's here today, so
Thank
he can tell you
you.
all about the one you picked.
That's really great. I saw those and I'm wondering, I almost asked, and then he told me and I was like, oh, yes. I appreciate it. That's really nice. Really great. Thank
All
you.
right, do we have any other announcements? If not, We're adjourned.
Excellent, Good place.